Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood. I'm delighted to be joined with Elaine, who's come all the way from Miami in Florida to be with us with her fantastic movie, Brownsville Bred. But for those that haven't seen it, let's take a look at the clip.
Elaine! Come upstairs! Mommy!
Okay, Mommy, I'm coming! Come on, we gotta go.
You go. I'm trying to catch a 10.
Abuela will kill me if you get sunburnt on my watch.
Elaine, it's a pleasure to have you here, to be having this conversation in person. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for bringing such a brilliant film to New Filmmakers LA.
Thank you so much for having it. It's such a spectacular festival, and the energy of the room yesterday during the screening, it was...
It was amazing. I mean,
it was everything.
It was, and I was in the room when your film was being played, and it was amazing. And for those that haven't seen your film, tell us a brief synopsis.
Well, it's adapted from my one-woman stage play that was autobiographical that I had off Broadway, and it tells the story of my life spanning the 1980s as a Puerto Rican hip-hop loving girl growing up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, and how I learned to be resilient through the grim realities that I faced with my father's addiction and the crime-ridden neighborhood that I loved and called home.
I mean, from the very first shot, like where I was like in it. I was in the world you created for us. I was in the story. I was taking it from the perspective of yourself and your character. It was amazing. It really, really was. And I love that this is something so personal to you that now you get to share with the world. Elaine, where did it start for you? Where you're like, I want to turn my life story, and of course, obviously your one-woman show. Like, when was that moment? It's like, I want to turn this into a film.
When I wanted to turn it into a film, well, I began my career as an actor, frustrated at the lack of opportunities for Latinas and really not feeling authentically seen and represented is what prompted me to write the show. And then audiences feeling so seen and wanting to share it made me know its value beyond what it meant to me. Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of opportunities. Someone from HBO said, I want to know everything you're doing from now on. And that made me want to continue to write other things and then become a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And it's been 10 years now that I've been directing, and I've been directing all kinds of things and won lots of awards and festivals. And now it's time to bring this story, my most personal story, to screen. And I've worked so hard on adapting it for so long. It's taken me so long to do it because I was too close to it. And it wasn't until Kimberly Pierce during a Sundance Writers Lab said, when you're writing a true story or working on a true story, forget about the truth and follow the emotional truth and the action. And that really freed me to be able to give the narrative feature film what it needed to be the best that it could be.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness me. I mean, there's so many moments in this film that I've got questions about, but just more about you did create this wonderful world of through the perspective of a young person, their imagination, their feelings, their thoughts. And what was so nice to see was seeing this part of Brooklyn celebrated in the way that you did as well. And of all the things that you had to face growing up as a child, the celebration of the community was so special. Is that something you wanted to do? Because I'm sure anyone that watching that is from that part of Brooklyn would be like, oh, we're on the map, this is beautiful.
Yes, I'm very proud to have brought Brownsville through her eyes, through this 8-year-old protagonist's eyes, she's just a kid living in a neighborhood. She doesn't know how crime-ridden it is, or even if she does, it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of fact, and she's joyous no matter what.
It's her home,
Yes, it's her home, and so bringing it, showing people that world is just, it's an honor. Because I want to honor not just the neighborhood, but also the people in it. Brownsville is one of the densest communities in New York. There are 3,000 people living on one city block, 80,000 within a mile, and they all live below the poverty line. And you would think that it's such a dismal place, but there's so much joy and love and hope that exists there. And I had to show it because that's what I experienced. And yes, it does, it does go dark, but then, what I showed here at New Filmmakers LA was actually just the first part, just the first 20 pages of a 90-page feature that I've written. And since I've done this piece, not only has it won like South by Southwest and Urban World and other great festivals and really gotten it on the map, but I've also been able to now film additional pages. So I have another 43 pages in the can, and I only need 26 more pages to finish the feature film that I've been doing for over 3 years now.
Wow.
And with children that get to grow with the film as well, and the cast that has just been so supportive of the work and value the story.
Well, we're so proud of you. You deserve this. You really do. It is not only a wonderful personal story, it's wonderfully written, it's amazingly directed, and let's talk about your actors. Because like I fell in love with this family. Like I was in love. Like you got the dream right there. Tell us about how your whole casting process.
Well, let me tell you that one of my parallel track streams of revenue is I'm a casting director.
I mean, come on, right? I mean, well, you do very well. There you go.
Yes, I do. Thankfully, I'm good at that job. And I didn't intend to go into that job. I actually fell into it through the success of the one-woman show. An ad agency producer that I had worked with before saw the play and said, I want to work with you every day, but I cannot hire an actor every day, so what else do you do? And I just said, what do you need? And he said casting, and I've been doing it now for over a decade. I'm CSA. So I'm very lucky in that agents respond to me, managers respond to me, actors respect me. And I was an actor, so I knew lots of people through just through acting, especially the New York Latino community of actors. We're very small and mighty. The people who are working are, before COVID, we would all be in the same room all the time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it was the loudest audition space of them all, because we were just like family.
Yeah.
And so I utilized everything that I could, just like any producer, as resourceful as you can be, is what I did. And I'm so lucky that I had already hired Summer Rose Castillo to be the animated voice of PBS Kids, Fred Rogers production, Alma's Way. She plays Alma. And when I was looking for Elaine, there she was, a New York, Puerto Rican girl. She's growing up in the Bronx. I grew up in Brownsville, similar backgrounds, and just precocious, joyful. Her mom was a professional actor, so I actually gave her first shot in animated series. Oh. And now I was able to bring her to the screen for the first time.
Wow. And
while we're talking about terrific performers, Javier Munoz, who plays the dad. What a gift. So my dad was a musician, a singer, songwriter, so artistic and effervescent. He was just a joy. And the day that I knew that I was going to reach out to Javier Munoz, I looked at him on Instagram, and he said, on Instagram, it was during COVID, he says, what does one do when you're on a New York City train that's absolutely empty? And he broke out into song, and I thought, there's my dad. That's the joy.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so I knew there, and we offered him the role, and he said, I want to meet with the filmmaker first. And I was like, oh no, he's gonna want me to change stuff. And no, he didn't want me to change a thing. He wanted to make sure that he could honor it succinctly, that he could play the parts. And I said, it would be my honor to have you in. And he was Hamilton on Broadway, Usavi he played Hamilton on Broadway, and Usavi in The Heights. He was always Lin-Manuel's understudy.
Yeah.
So he was playing it throughout, and his voice.
It's iconic. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
In the story, later on in the story, at the end of the story, we learned that although my father has recovered from his struggles with addiction, it's not before he actually contracts HIV. And Javier Munoz is actually an AIDS activist, and he lives with HIV, which
So
I
this
did not know.
Wow, wow,
But it
wow.
just, I mean, to have a lived experience cast like that. Susana Guzman, who's an Emmy-nominated actress for The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, she couldn't wait to do it, and she's authentically from Brownsville.
I mean, you got the dream.
Karina
You
Ortiz.
did get the dream right there, didn't you?
Karina Ortiz is now on Walking Dead, Dead City. And they all love it. They
Yeah.
all really,
You can feel it.
you can feel it.
How does that feel as a director, making something so personal to you, having this dream team? It must feel like special.
Well, I love actors. Every time
Yeah.
I direct them, I love being with them, and I always want what they want, which is the very best performance that they can give. They want to be the best, and they're so
Yeah.
vulnerable and courageous, no matter what I'm directing. But I mean, Brownsville Bred is my baby,
Yeah.
but really everything that I do, I deeply care about, and I understand from an actor's perspective as well that they're always thinking about the work, the process, but then it always means something when they're chosen, when they're doing the role. And I just try to let actors know that you're here because of what you gave me.
Yeah.
So every decision that I've made as a director is actually crafted for the actor in the role, not just
Yeah.
the role to the
Oh,
actor.
you can feel that, yeah.
It works both ways.
The production design was mesmerizing.
Mary Markson.
Oh my, like really?
Yes, and on such a low budget.
It was so good to, like, wow.
She scoured everything. Like, we got the piano for free.
Oh.
We just had to have it delivered, and then we ended up giving it away for free. And she just did everything that she could, worked on such a small budget. And of course, we had to recreate 1980s.
Yeah, I was
which is
like, that's
no
not easy.
easy
No
feat.
easy feat at all.
No easy feat.
I wanted
but
to jump right into the screen. It was beautiful, you know?
it was,
And that's not an easy job, and you captured that. I immediately felt that. I was like, oh, I'm back down. I'm back here. This is amazing.
Yeah, well, we always had to angle up to avoid like
Yeah,
cars
avoid-
and people on phones and
Yeah.
things like that. COVID masks.
COVID mask, yeah.
Yes.
Going back to Brownsville, Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
you really you showcase like love and family and community and hope and ambition and celebrating each other, and even through hardships, addictions, everything else, the love doesn't go away. You know what I mean? We may have these experiences in life with our families, with our loved ones, but love exists, and love hurts sometimes too. And I just thought that relation you had, you know, with young Elaine and with her father was really, really special. And I'm just curious, like, what did you want your audience to take from your film?
I want them to be seen. I want these characters to be seen. If you see yourself in them, great. But if you don't see yourself in them and just recognize someone new that you didn't think existed in that community, that would be amazing
Yeah.
for me. But also to know that, you know, we learn resilience through adversity. And so every time, if something bad happens to us, it's up to us to make it, to make that have purpose and meaning. And this is how I learned to have a meaningful life. And I like to live my life with meaning every single day. And it's through those lessons that I learned back then.
Absolutely.
So I want everybody to feel that and to appreciate what the neighborhood and things that you have to overcome can give you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, for one thing, I've living in the Bronx for 2 years. When I first moved to the States, there's one thing you can say about a New Yorker: their resilience is second to none. You know,
Oh, yes.
You know, absolutely. And I think that's inbred in community, particularly in the boroughs as well. I'm so proud of this film. I can't wait. I'm so excited because honestly, my next thing was like, we need more, Elaine, we need more. And I'm glad the feature is on the horizon.
Yes.
But I just want to just go back to, obviously, we're really grateful that you came in from Miami to be here as well. But what was it like having your film, obviously, with us at New Filmmakers LA, in partnership with the Academy, with an in-focus of Latinx storytellers? What was that experience like?
Well, I'd like to thank the Academy.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
And NewFilmmakers LA. The audience was amazing. The theater, I don't know that it's ever played more beautifully than it did.
I know, I got chills.
The energy. And also through Filmmakers LA, one of your panelists actually saw my 36-hour challenge film and was so impressed with it that they met with me, and lo and behold, they offered me a feature film.
It's amazing.
Which I did. It's already out on Tubi. It's called Midnight Hustle. And what you guys did for me, thank you for that opportunity to be hired as a director. And I get to tell another tale of doing a feature film, 90 pages in 14 days and getting it in the can with very little prep and everything. And it's really everything that you ever wanted,
Yeah.
you know, as a filmmaker, to be hired, to be supported, because Brownsville Bread is a feature that I continue to self-finance, raise money for through Fractured Atlas, which is a fiscal sponsor, and also through grants. So to have someone hire you just to make a movie is wonderful.
It's amazing.
Especially when I've been working so hard for years
Yeah.
to finish Brownsville Bread as a feature, and it's close. I'm close. 26 pages left.
Well, Elaine, you deserve this. Like,
Thank you
really,
very
really,
much.
like when I see what you're doing, what you've accomplished, the hard work you put into your craft, like there's no surprise that, you know, you really do deserve this. So
Thank you so
we're
much.
so proud of you. But I'm dying for your feature. Like we're like all waiting. Like I'm so ready for
It's
this
so
feature.
good. It's so good.
We can't wait. So please, when the time comes, like we are ready. We want to see it. You've got a lot of
Yes.
fans with us. In the wings. But listen, congratulations on all that you're doing.
Thank you.
And we're so happy to have you here, and we can't wait for your feature. So
I
thank you
can't
so much,
wait for it
Elaine.
either. You're gonna love it. I was crying on set, just as I'm directing, I'm just bawling. And that, it's not just because it's my own story, because I do that with other stories as well.
Yeah.
But you know it's right when you can't help but like dance and laugh and
got everything.
cry when it happens, when
And
that
say
magic happens.
Say a big thank you to all of your cast and crew, because I know you've got a very, very special team. So,
Oh my goodness.
So don't worry, Brownsville Bread, the feature is coming. Elaine is working on it. 26 pages to go. We'll be seeing it very soon. Okay. Thank you very much, Elaine.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
and thank you again to all of my cast and crew, and everyone that's just been a part of the village, helping me to tell this story and see my vision to fruition.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Elaine.